Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Trapped in Her Dorm. Yeah, this is a Lifetime movie, Lifetime Network movie. This is from 2025, so it's fairly recent. It's an hour and 25 minutes long, and yeah, if you like this kind of genre of movies, here you go. Here's one more. We still have a few more left, and I just added one for the next quarter because we're gonna make it past June. We're gonna make it into at least July, and yeah, there's one more. I think no, actually, that next one I just added is not from Lifetime. It's from Freeform, I think. I usually don't add just random stuff, but there's a connection that I really like in that, so I chose to include it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It ties into Andor, believe it or not. So I'll talk to you about that in a few months. Anyway, this one is about a girl who's trapped in her dorm, obviously. She is, by the way, her name's Erin, and she's played by Sierra Hannah. She is a Sierra Hannah. She is just an average college girl. You know, she's trying. She's an art major. She's studies art. She has a roomie that is a party girl, and they're ready to go off to spring break. And she's not the one to go on off to spring break. She needs to really get this project done. It's most of her grade. It's really important. It's spring break, girl. Just go. Seriously. She has a guy that she knows who's also in the art program. His name's Cade, played by Will Sparks III. Rumi is played by Jessica A. Caesar. Jessica A. Caesar. But Cade is an unassuming, just sort of awkward, not very. He's kind of sensitive. He's an artistic kind of guy. He's really not in your face, but he obviously has a crush on her. He's really in love with her. He thinks, anyway. And you know that he's going to be the problem. Why she's trapped in her dorm. It's not because of like a faulty key or, you know, what's going on. No, it's a dude. It's going to be a dude in all of these types of films. If you're not making a Christmas romance for the Lifetime Network, you're making a dude who's trying to hurt a woman. It's just the way it is. It's a bulk of their scripts that they get to make, that they green light to make movies. It's just the way it is. And because, you know, there's an audience for it. There's an audience. It's an empowering kind of thing. Yeah, you're a victim, but you can overcome this thing. And yes, that's a spoiler, because you're not going to end this kind of movie, even if it's based on true events, real, you know. I don't know exactly how they worded it, but this is supposedly based on real events that happened, and that's not great. It's never great, but hopefully the real story ended just as well as this one. Not without a lot of trauma, but yeah, she decides that she's gonna stay home from well, she was gonna go to spring break, and then she blew off Cade way too many times. He felt that the moment that she's like, oh, you know what, I think I will go to spring break, he was like angry at her because she's going to go off and meet some guy and do stuff that she's going to regret and get wild and party with everybody else, and she needs to be better than that for him. Yeah. Way to go, Cade. Everything a woman wants. So he decides to lock her in her room. Yeah, in her dorm room. He literally changes the locks. Why? Well, it's easy to do that when there's already construction happening on his floor, a floor above hers, and also, like, you know, there's tools and stuff like that, but also the fact that everybody's gone. She's going to paint. She was going to paint, but now she's going to paint whether she likes it or not. She wakes up basically chained to the bed, and well, no, she wakes up the first time realizing she just can't get out of the room, and she calls for help. Nobody's around. There's an RA, there's campus security, but yeah, for the most part, she's on her own, and suddenly she discovers, well, that Cade is the reason why, and he gives her all the reasons in the world that they were meant to be together, and he loves her so much, and yeah, that's not cool. It's really not cool. So, yeah, some of this stuff seems a little over dramatic, overwrought. and just like, this can't happen, but it's based on a true story, so yeah. This kind of thing you wish wouldn't be based on a true story. That you wish was a bit, just, not a bit, but really, really made up. And it's the kind of thing where, Kate, believe it or not, I will give this, I'm not going to poo-poo this on just out of hat, but the guy who plays Kate, Will Sparks III, he definitely has this kind of psycho, disheveled, kind of overwrought, unstable kind of dude look down. He's got that look. The hair's a little off. He's kind of pale, and he's just sort of, he's a little nervous, but he's also weirdly confident at the same time that it's all going to work out, that they are going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're going to be in love forever if she just saw him the way he sees her. That eternal justification that the incel crowd seems to maybe think, that if you just kidnap a girl, she's going to fall in love with you. It's that old thing. Why can't I think of that word? Stockholm Syndrome. So, yeah. Most of what we have here, and by the way, she spends a lot of her time chained to her bed or leg chained to her stool in front of a piece of art, because he doesn't want to stop her from getting a good grade. He wants to make sure that she does her art. So she's kind of stuck doing a painting of him. And despite the fact that he's being so forceful, he wants to be considerate, and he does not want to see the work until it's finished. He's being very respectful in that sense, even though he's had every opportunity to see what this painting is going to look like. And you can imagine, with the way things work out, it's going to be a big FU kind of painting by the time he sees it. And she makes many attempts to escape. There's even people who are, between the RA, she kind of picks up on some things that seem just really strange. And, I'm going to be spoiling. I've already spoiled enough of the structure of this, because if you really want to watch these types of movies, you would have watched it by now, or you would have just said, "Oh, whoa, I want to hear this guy's opinion after." These movies aren't necessarily high grade, in usually most of the forms, but you know what? It pays people's rent, hopefully. In LA, it feeds them, it keeps the electricity on, and that's okay. You know what? If you're in LA and you're making a movie like this, don't be ashamed. You are paying the bills, and everything's a stepping stone to something else. This is not. Nobody goes, you know what? My goal is to someday star in a Lifetime network movie, or a Hallmark movie, or some sort of direct-to-video kind of release, or direct-to-streaming these days. Nobody necessarily sets that as a life goal in acting. Stage, maybe an Oscar film that you're not even nominated for, but you're at least in that cast. That's pretty great. Always, you get to be seen by certain people, and that's great. So I don't recall anybody from being part of anything else, but you know what? Hey, this is a very new film, so you might see these people in future films, probably horror films, but that's okay too. So I'm not going to tap on everybody's face just to figure out where they have done anything they've done since, but yeah, you're not gonna, if you're not the fan of these types of films, this is not going to change your mind. But like I said, Will has, for good or bad, he has a really good psycho dude tone. He's got that down pat. He does a really good job of that. Sierra, she has to spend most of her time tied up or fighting for her life whenever she just almost gets a chance to get away. and then the ending is the most suspicious, because it is a total power rescue kind of thing, and then she also is the one who gives the coup de grace blow that takes out the man who had held her hostage for a week in her own dorm. So, yeah, you gotta have our hero lay the smack down, and she does that well. But yeah, no, you get to see all the innovative things. You can watch this if you ever think that you're going to be in a college situation where there are. Oh, that is college, by the way. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of weird psycho dudes who might be a tad obsessive over you. Just know how to handle them, and also make a safe word with your mom. That doesn't sound right in some cases, in some scenarios, but a safe word with your mom over the phone, just reminding each other of what that is so that you can use it in the future should you ever get kidnapped and trapped in your dorm. Or something much, much worse. I don't want to make light of this because there's plenty of situations, too many situations, where women are attacked, abused, and mistreated in horrific ways. But yeah, set that secret word, safe word, which is, yeah, used completely differently. But so you can get that message across without tipping off your hostage guy, your kidnapper. So yeah, it's a back and forth between our two leads, and it ends up, while other people seem to figure things out throughout the movie, it only ends up getting them in trouble. That he's fairly resourceful, but he's also incredibly deluded, because somehow he thinks that after all this is done, after the week is up and everybody comes back from spring break, they can be boyfriend and girlfriend. They can come out as boyfriend and girlfriend because, and again, he has problems from his past, and that's understandable. Well, it's understandable to have problems in your past. It's not excusable to use that to abuse someone you think you love. So yeah, that should be the tagline to every movie that involves women in danger from somebody they call friend. So, yeah. So, also, one of the biggest questions I had is, considering the amount of time that he leaves her tied up to her bed, or, that she spends at least the first day or so after he kind of locks her down, after she tries to escape, she doesn't have to go to the bathroom once. There's no situation where she's like, I gotta pee. Please unhook me so I can use the restroom. And that's, a shared bathroom on the floor between all the girls. So even though everybody's gone, even while she's showering, he spends time in the bathroom, just right outside the shower, guarding, not watching. Although I thought I saw him peek once. I just say this. Definitely. You could probably have a little fun with this movie, but I can't say it's poorly acted. Although there is a really, really sorry, Sierra, but one of the best lines is #go to hell. So. Yeah. That will have a long life. Longer than the movie. So yeah, you're again, nothing to poo-poo, but on general standards, most of these types of films tend to not be high grade because they're fairly predictable, and the structure is understandable. Structure is also predictable, but yeah. But hey, she's going to win out in the end. Not really a spoiler. But what does she have to go through? Well, that's the meat of it. That's the meat of the story. Let's pick another one. 67. So help me if it is another one. I will be... Oh, okay. It's not a movie. It's not one of the Lifetime movies. By the way, we only have like 4 or 5 movies remaining, not counting the ones that are coming next month. Well, coming in July, but and like Avatar 3 will end up showing up at some point. And probably Hoppers will probably show up before I finish this series. But yeah, we have another reality show. And most of you who've watched these know I hate reality shows. This one will probably be no different, but I could be surprised. We'll find out when we watch Married at First Sight. There was a movie called Arrange, not a series, a reality series called Arrange that I watched a long time ago on Disney Plus. It is possibly one of my most hated things that I've ever watched on Disney Plus. Yeah. I think it was the beginning of them bringing in all sorts of reality TV stuff, and well, it can't be worse than that. Anytime it's manufactured romance for the sake of entertainment, gives me the creeps. Just like, a guy who locks his love in her dorm room. Anyway, we're going to be watching Married at First Sight in the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.